provide every service in this community with the exception of power and water. Everything else is us. Did you have something, sir? No? Anybody? Troy, anything happening in the police department that folks should know about?
Andy ran out of things to say. I talk loud enough, you guys can hear me in the hallway. I don't think I need a microphone. I don't think I have anything going new at the police department. We had an officer retire recently, so we hired a new guy you guys probably saw on the street, Larry Stewart. I look at Cheswick, I got the name right finally. Anyway, he just started about 4 weeks ago. So we have one new officer on the street, and we have one in the academy who replaced another officer that was terminated about 5-6 months ago. So we have 2 new guys that replaced 2 other officers that left. But besides that, there's not a lot going on. We have some events upcoming. We have National Night Out coming up. We're planning right now currently, and I can't think of anything else would be of interest really. We do a lot of press releases. Go ahead, Dave.
Do you have any comment on more cops problem?
I was totally avoiding that. Okay.
If he didn't ask, I was.
Yeah, you're limited to 1 minute. As far as more cops, we went through a long process. I learned a lot too at the legislative session. I had to testify in it and be involved in it. Right now they tabled it. They didn't give a time limit when it comes back. We knew it was going to happen. There's a lot of elected people don't like the idea of raising taxes. I understand that. And there's some other taxes coming up right now. I think that was the biggest problem. You know, we have the fuel tax they're discussing currently, so I don't think anyone to put, you know, their name on it quite yet. Last time we had the vote, the county commission did vote to go forward with it 5-2. So this time it was still pretty close to that, but I think there was a few more questions to be answered. They said some constituents had some questions and they wanted to have those answered, even though we've been answering for over 1.5 years. So I'm not sure where it's going to go or what's going to happen with it, but it's still up in the air. It's out there. We don't think it's over by any means. They're going to ask their questions, and it's more of a Las Vegas Metro question than us. Of course, they're getting a lot more money, have a lot more officers. We're just a really small portion in there, but it does matter, and it's very important to us. We currently have 7 officers on more cops, and I've said this 100 times, and it'll probably give us 2 more officers, but we're at 1.58 officers per 1,000. It would move us up to 1.71 if we did get 2 more officers. So it's very important to our agency, and I think it would hold us over for a few more years. Right now we're close to having 4 guys on every shift. We work 12-hour shifts, and then we have 4 detectives, and so they're needed positions. Our calls have been up. The statistics, our crimes have been up, and I say our Part 1 crimes, are the 7 major crimes, they're up by 7% from 2011 to 2012. Some people blame the economy, different times. We say we have less population, but people are more desperate, and it's hard to get jobs, of course, and so there's a lot of pawning and a lot of different things going on, but the 2 officers mean a lot to our department. That kind of money means a lot to our department and our city. I think currently around 800 grand, should be say about 780 approximately. Dave just got back, so I can't point out and ask what the numbers are. But anyhow, we get about 760 to 780,000 a year right now currently from more cops. That pays for the officers' wages, retirement, everything. It pays for their vehicles, their equipment, training, and if we got this other allotted money, it'd be about 400,000 right around there approximately, because they did 15 cents for the $100 or whatever. And so that would pay for their equipment, cars, vehicle. There'd be no cost to the city. So it pays for a large part of our officers. It pays for more than 30% of our officers, having 7 of them. We have 28 full-time police officers and 7 or more cops, like I said. So it's exactly a quarter of our police officers right now. So, any other questions?
I'll make one comment. I want to, for the audience to know, and don't toot your own horn, but I think Mesquite was the only one that complied with the rules of more cops during the whole process too. All the other ones did not fund it properly, and I think Mesquite was the only police department that held to the rules, and I think they need to be commended by that.
I appreciate that, and I think that's why they picked me when Sheriff Gillespie did his comments and things. They decided there were some agencies that of course couldn't because of compliance issues, and that's why a lot of questions arose of how you can spend the money when it's audited. We actually have ours online. I went to our finance department, and I know Dave had it in order very well before he left, and now I had Doty put it online, so anyone in the public, anytime they want, can see exactly where we spend our more cops money and how many cops are funded on it, so where it's going. And I make sure that anything with more cops, of course I sign it and finance department double checks it. And so we make sure we're very, very careful how we spend that money and that we stay in compliance. So we're in good standing when I do talk to elected officials around the state that there's no issues with us. So anyway, we do our part and want to do our best because that money means a lot to Mesquite and to the city of Mesquite. Thank you. I was trying to think of a topic for Andy just to throw him off.
Thanks, Troy. A couple of things that are coming up that I want to know about. In the next week or so, we will be publishing a list of organizational accomplishments, probably posting it on our website, do it on a department by department basis. We'll only be publishing those things that have relevance to the community. There are a lot of internal things that we do to try to keep our organization running better. That probably wouldn't mean much, but we will be publishing a list, and if nothing else, it gives you a good sense of the breadth of responsibilities that we have in this community. I would invite all of you, once that's published, to offer comments. The other thing that's coming up in the next couple of months, every year it has been my intention to do an independent third-party review of a department. This year we're going to be looking at our fire department. I'm hoping that after we go to council with the contract, we can get going on this sometime in the fall with results to be offered probably a month or so beyond that. So that is coming up. And next year we'll do a different department. Last year we did development services departments, made a couple of changes based on some of the recommendations we have. And like I said, this year we're going to be doing our fire department. In terms of people that I've neglected to introduce, I'm sorry, 1,000 apologies, but our public information officer for the police department, Quade Chesley, is here. I'm Quade. Okay.
Andy, real quick on that, you asked if you can say a couple of words. I apologize, I forgot to introduce Quade Chesley, is our new information officer for the police department. So he'd like to come up and say a couple of things, if you don't mind.
Yeah, he is better looking than,
Thanks, Barb.
he's easier on the eyes, dude.
Well, thank you. I didn't have anything to say, but McCoy Chesley. I've been working with the police department here for 6 years, and was recently made the public information officer. If you guys ever have any questions or anything, my name's on a lot of the releases. We sent out a release today on an investigation that's been going on for approximately 6 months with our narcotics detectives here that work for Mesquite. And what it was is there was people selling narcotics out of their homes. They're selling their prescriptions and other people's prescriptions, and also methamphetamine. So the reason the press release is set out is because so much time and effort goes into this type of case investigation. You can imagine working on something for 6 months, everything they have to get in order to make sure the prosecution goes through with the case. And this narcotics teams that we put in place, that the chief has put in place, has really benefited our community in many different ways, because they're able, as you guys know, narcotics or drugs are basically the decay of a community or of a society. And the chief put this as paramount, that we're making sure and we're finding those things that are hurting our community in any way, shape, or form, and we're going after them, hitting them head on. And so hopefully you guys will look at that release on the narcotics that was sent out today. And also, we have a Facebook page. We have approximately 450 likes on it, and that's a considerable amount. We'd like to get at least up to 500. So if you know anyone that does Facebook, go ahead and like our page, and you can see our up-to-date information on everything that's happening within the police department. And on that, we put all sorts of things, what's going on, both our events and also with the criminal aspect. Does anyone have any questions for me? I was kind of put on the spot. I didn't have anything to say. So. Thank you.